Hey guys, I'm Mason, and in this video I'm going over my Week 9 NFL game picks. So Thursday night we have the Texans at the Jets. The Jets lost again last week, which I was kind of surprised at. They lost to the Patriots, um, which yeah, like I said, I was really surprised about. The Texans barely beat the Colts last week, um, but I feel like the Texans, they've just been playing a lot better than the Jets have this season. And as much as I want to say the Jets are as much as I've been saying I think the Jets will be really good this year, especially after getting Devontae Adams, I just haven't seen it yet. So I'm going with Houston in this one, 24-16. Next we have the Patriots at the Titans. Neither of these teams are playing great, but I've seen a lot more flashes from the Patriots than the Titans. So I'm going to go with New England in this one, especially because last week the Patriots beat the Jets, which, like I said about the previous game, I was surprised about that. So I'm going New England 23-13. Then we have the Commanders at the Giants. The Commanders had a crazy game last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it, but I saw replays of it. That Hail Mary at the end was crazy. I was watching the score live, and I remember seeing that the Bears scored a touchdown to get the lead with 20 some seconds left. I think it was 26 seconds left. I was like, all right, let's go. Bears win. I'm happy. I don't check the score again. And then I hear in our Discord server that Beast Mode was saying, what did I just witness? And I was like, no way the Commanders just won that game. There's absolutely no way that that's the game he's talking about right now. Then I go and look at the score, and I see that the Commanders just completed a Hail Mary and won the game. So crazy. But that game was not at all what I expected. I expected a high scoring game. Ended up being 15-18. So that was interesting in that way. Anyway, I'm talking about last week so much. I think the Commanders are going to win this game. The Giants just haven't been that great. Commanders have been looking really good this season. So I'm going Washington in this one, 30-17. Next, we have the Chargers at the Browns. This one I don't really know, because the Browns really surprised me last week. They beat the Ravens, which I did not expect at all. And the Chargers, I just never know. It doesn't seem like they're that great of a team, but they still have a winning record. They destroyed the Saints last week, but I don't think the Saints are that great. But the Chargers are just a hard team to predict, in my opinion. And kind of so is Cleveland, but because the Browns beat the Ravens last week, which really impressed me, I'm going with the Browns in this one. Final score 20-24. Next we have the Raiders at the Bengals. This is another one I really don't know. The Raiders played decent last week. They only lost by 7 to Kansas City. The Bengals got destroyed by the Eagles, lost 37-17. Normally I'd like to go with Cincinnati in this one just because I feel like their roster is a little better. But based on how everything went last week and how this season has been going, I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. Final score 26-19. Next we have the Saints at the Panthers. I really don't know on this one. The Saints have not been looking good recently. Spencer Rattler has not impressed me one bit. I only watched him a little bit a couple weeks ago, but he just really didn't look good. The Saints only put up 8 points last week. That's just really not good. And the Panthers, they've been having a tough season too, so I really don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but just because of what I've seen from the Saints these last couple weeks, I'm actually going with Carolina in this one. Final score 13-16. Next we have the Dolphins at the Bills. The Dolphins are struggling. They almost won last week, but they still lost to the Cardinals. It was 28-27, and I think the Bills are a much better team than the Cardinals this year, so I don't see the Dolphins winning this game. I'm going with Buffalo 16-31. This game, the Broncos at the Ravens, I'm actually really excited for because the Broncos these last few weeks have been playing really good, and the Ravens have been they had a few weeks there where I was like, okay, I'm finally starting to see the Ravens that I thought I would see this year. And then they lose that last week to the Browns. Which, yeah, okay, divisional game, I always say those are usually close, and, those are sometimes the surprises. But, I don't know. I'm having a really hard time deciding on this one, because, part of me wants to go with Denver just because, like I said, these last few weeks they've been playing really good, but I just can't bring myself to pick the Broncos over the Ravens. So I'm going with Baltimore in this one, 21-27. Next we have the Cowboys at the Falcons. The Cowboys are another one of those teams that they're hard to predict, and it's also hard to predict them to win just because they're so inconsistent. The Falcons have been a little bit better than the Cowboys in my opinion this season, so I'm going with Atlanta in this one, 20-27. Next we have the Jaguars at the Eagles. The Jaguars played pretty good last week. They almost beat the Packers. It was 30-27, which is really impressive because also the week before that, I believe the Jaguars won. I don't remember who they played, but I think that was their second win of the season, which, like, maybe they're starting to play better. I don't know. But then you look at the Eagles game and they beat the Bengals by 20. So, like, you see that, and I just can't pick against the Eagles after seeing a score like that. So I'm going 23-28 Philadelphia. Next, we have the Bears at the Cardinals. I'm excited for this one. I say that every week about Bears games. But this is a game I really think Chicago can win. I think they need a bounce back. Like, they need to have a good game after the way they played last week, especially their offense, because they had those, like, 2-3 weeks in a row where their offense looked really good, and then only scoring 15 points last week. You really start to question how good they really are. But the Cardinals, okay, yeah, they've been looking decent these last couple weeks, but I still feel like they're a slightly weaker team. So I think the Bears can win this one. I really hope they do. I hope it's an exciting game. I really wanted to see an exciting game for the Bears last week, so I'm hoping this one will be. I'm going Chicago 30, Arizona 23. This is another one, the Lions at the Packers, that I am so excited for. These NFC North teams are always so exciting to watch this year. And I mean, this one especially, both of these teams are playing really good. The Lions beat the Titans 14-52 last week. Packers are playing good football. Both of these are high-scoring offenses. Like, this should just be a really exciting game. I don't know. I just feel like the Lions have been playing a little bit better this season. I feel like they're more complete. They're healthier. So for that, or they have been healthier throughout the season, at least. So for that reason, I'm going with Detroit 38-31. The Rams at the Seahawks. Last week, the Rams looked really good. They beat the Vikings 30-20. I did not think for a second that the Rams were going to win that game. There was no doubt in my mind that it would be like an easy win for the Vikings. But the Rams ended up winning. Their offense looked good. Better than it has all season for sure. The Seahawks got destroyed by the Bills. It was a lot worse than I thought it would be. I didn't really think the Seahawks would win, but I didn't think they'd lose that big either. It was 31-10, I believe. Yeah, 31-10. And like, seeing that, it's hard for me to pick Seattle, but I feel like they're one of those teams that'll bounce back. I feel like the Rams, that might have just been like a one-time thing, I don't know. It all depends on like how well the Rams play, because throughout most of the season they haven't looked that good. But if they play at all like they did last week, the Rams will win this game. But just because I think the Seahawks will be able to bounce back from a big loss last week, it's in Seattle, I'm going with the Seahawks 23-26. Sunday night we have the Colts at the Vikings. I said this last week that I thought the Vikings would win, and they ended up losing. And I'm going to say it again this week. There's almost no way the Vikings lose this game. The Colts are not that great of a team. Like, they haven't been awful, but they're not that great. And I just feel like the Vikings should really be able to win this game. So I'm going Minnesota 14-27. Then Monday night, we have the Buccaneers at the Chiefs. I'm excited for this one. I wish the Buccaneers were healthy, because if they were healthier than they are, I think this would be like a really, really good game. But their offense still played pretty good last week. It put up 26 points. So I think this should still be a close game. But I still think the Chiefs will win. I don't know. I wouldn't be too surprised if this is the Chiefs' first loss. But I just don't know. I have a hard time picking against the Chiefs this year. So I'm going Kansas City 23-30. In fan picks, we have one person voting for Tampa Bay, the other two for Kansas City. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this week, and overall your thoughts on this video. If you want to be part of fan picks, let me just join our Discord server. or you can let me know in the comments. Either one works. There's a link for our Discord server in the description of this video. If you can't find that link, or if it doesn't work, send a comment. I'll help you out. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, as always, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time on Good Gamers. Thanks for watching.